Hey, welcome. We're going to do a quick little lesson here on graphing, how we'll graph for our labs and how we can make graphs, and hopefully this will help speed this process up for you. Okay, let's make a graph. We've got this data here. XY coordinates are 1, 5, 2, 9, 3, 16, 4, 20. So let's say this right here is the data I've gotten from some lab that I'm doing. All right, so what I'll do is I can copy the data, and then you'll want to pull open Excel. And here I've already copied or pasted the data in. But what's the nice thing now is once you've got this data pasted in, I can just simply click over here and I'm going to go to Insert, and we're going to always use a scatter plot. I know we think of line graphs, but on Excel, a line graph does not do what we think it does. Do not use line graphs because it does not work correctly. I'm going to click on this one so it gives me the lines. And you notice that I forgot to highlight it. So let's highlight it. Got to highlight it. I've got it highlighted now. And we're going to make ours. There's different ones. This is a curved line. We want the ones with straight lines typically. But here's my beginning parts of this graph. Now, there's other things we can do. I can go right up here and click on this where it says chart title. And one of the first things we'll be doing is distance and time. I want you to know that up here typically we're going to do Y versus X axes. So I'm going to put my Y first. That's kind of counterintuitive, but it's the way it goes. Distance and time. So what I'm saying then up here is that this is the time and this is the distance. Meaning I'm going to use my Y axes first in my title. That's important. Over here, if you click on this, a lot of things you can add from here. Axes titles. Well, if I click on this now, it automatically pops them down here. Again, that's this where it says axes titles, where it pops them in there. This is my y-axis, so this is going to be my distance. Oh, what the heck, I'm going to say meters. Time is my x-axis down here, so I'm going to go ahead and say seconds. And real quickly, we've thrown together a graph. This is much faster than doing it by hand. As well with this now, I'm going to click on this, and if I go down to trend line, this is really the last thing we want to include here. Trend line, or in algebra, you would have called it a best fit line. I'm going to click on this little arrow off to the right hand side, and I'm going to go down here where it says more options. I'm going to go down here where it says display equation on chart. There's my equation, which we'll use quite often as we learn to understand what that's saying. And then it's giving me some other stuff over here which I don't really know what that is. But anyways, my trend line, more options again, and oh, we're good. Okay, so I've got everything on here now. Here's my graph. I've got a title. I've got my axes titled. I've got the equation, which we're going to want that a lot. We don't really know how to use that equation just yet, but that's going to be one of the things we learn how to do. And then I've got my best fit line in here right now. So those right there are the beginning components of things we want to be able to put in our graph. Well, hey, that's really all anything I wanted to add to this for right now. I'll catch you guys on